Hi, it's Trixie Mattel, and today we're taking a little jaunt through my drag studio, my makeup room, and all my closets, shall we? So I'm gonna take you through the drag room. I'm gonna show you where I get ready, where I keep my drag, where I keep all my makeup, my hair stuff. But before we do, subscribe to the channel because I don't do nice things like this for you every day, but I do put out videos every single Monday for free. So let's get started. Well, my first iteration of a drag space was at my apartment on the east side of Milwaukee, and there was a closet under the stairs that you could just duck into. Very small, but I couldn't believe at 23, as a local drag queen, I even had room in my house for drag. So that already felt like rich. Right here we have my makeup desk. This is where I get ready. This is where, if you've seen the declutter video, this is where I sat and got rid of, I think, what was a very impressive amount of makeup. So we have a lot of my tools are up here, hairbrushes, bits, bobs. Skincare I use a lot to get in drag. Then when I moved to LA, all my drag was in my bedroom. So I used to go to sleep on one side of the queen size bed, and then the other side was all wigs and suitcases. And then the corner of my bedroom was stacks of merch because I used to fulfill and ship out my own merch. So every Monday I would go to the post office with like 50 orders, just ship them out. I have hooked up with guys where wigs are on the other side of the bed. Chipotle sent me a candle, and we love candles when we get ready. So we do a lot of candle work in drag. Around the time of moving parts, I lived in an apartment where all my drag was in the garage. So if you watch Moving Parts, you see me in the garage, like getting in drag. In Los Angeles heat. So it would be 100 degrees outside and I'd be getting in drag to go do television. But the drag was just so out of control. It consumes your whole life. So now I have, in this condo, a room for just drag. And it creeps out. I mean, I have the whole room for drag, and I have a rolling rack of clothes, and I have another closet full of drag, and another closet full of drag, and a shoe closet. I mean, you go in the kitchen and open a drawer, you might find a pair of shoes. I should also say, some beauty people or some drag queens, whoever, they're gonna do a deep clean of their closet before they show it, but this is the real tea. So nothing's quite that clean, nothing's exactly put away correctly, but this is like a real working space where I get in drag here sometimes 5 days a week. I'm just gonna be honest, when we filmed this video, we also pulled a bunch of shit out and threw it on the floor in another room. So any drag queen who shows you a clean studio and says that it's always like that is a fucking liar. This is just what it really looks like. Story makeup, I'm not as much of a hoarder as I used to be. We have way less. Now I'm a lot more utilitarian. We give a lot away. The girls at the cosmetics company, Trans Wellness Center, other drag queens will come over with an empty suitcase and just take a bunch of PR and leave. It's like being willfully robbed. So here we have a whole wall of Trixie Cosmetics. So this is gonna be stuff that has already come out, stuff that's about to come out. This is where we keep lab samples. Some of these you can tell, this is the first tester. It has a lab sticker on it. Most of the time the product I have is the lab sample. I don't even have the real thing. Up there you can see a lot of glosses. Some of those glosses we never even did, colors we decided not to do. That Glamcore light though, I think it's called the New Yorker. It's £1 million and it was expensive, but I've had it for 6 years and it's incredible. The Slay Station, which is the desk, Dave and I assembled that together, and it was one of the biggest fights we've ever had. I don't recommend assembling furniture with your loved ones. It's not worth it. Just pay someone. Just get white glove service, because David was about to get catch these hands service. Now, before I continue, I just want to point out, there's wigs everywhere in this room. There's wigs all the way around the top of the room. I actually have done a count. I believe last time I checked, we have about 70 wigs. And then, some of them are 3 wigs stacked. So I don't know how you would even quantify that. There's a good 5 that get used a lot. This is one of the wigs that's I think this is Trixie's hair. I think this is my hair when I'm not performing. That's what I mentally think of. There's a lot of wigs that are so ornate and fragile, they can't really travel. Whereas if you come see a Trixie Mattel tour, I'm usually wearing a snatched base wig with toppers and half wigs and falls and bang pieces. When I started doing my hair like Legos, where everything is just kind of built on my head, it became a little more travel friendly. So here we have a bunch of my fragrances and setting sprays, and there's a Fix Plus setting sprays, bunch of my Scentbird fragrances, my Perfect by Marc Jacobs, Tom Ford Rose Prick. I'm really into this one right now. 70s Brady Bunch wallpaper? Check. Bunch of setting sprays, depends what I'm feeling. I haven't done a setting spray today yet, so let's do this Beauty Bakery one. Okay, that one must have been plugged. Just got bukkakied with that. Do you see that? Oh, thank you, yeah. And here, this is where I keep a lot of my jewelry. So each one of these drawers is just full of little sets of earrings. I have so many pairs of earrings at this point, and they're almost all custom. Storing them in a way where I can open drawers and see them all, that's like the goal, you hope. When I moved into this place, I remember seeing this second bedroom and being like, this is gonna be the drag room, because love these big closets. A lot of my purses, more fragrances, wigs. This is like wigs and wig pieces. Like, look, here's like a clip-on ponytail. Maybe I would like use it as a bang or something. It's just a lot of items. This kind of looks like your hair, Nick. This is my primary drag closet. This is where a lot of like my mini dresses, my like staple Trixie stuff is. They're kind of organized by color. You can see it's all pinks. I have a lot of pink. You can see down here, it's a lot of black and whites. I used to get rid of drag, but at this point, I think I've figured out my weight and I think I've figured out my personal style. And so I don't want to get rid of anything anymore, because a lot of this stuff, because it's like 60s, I'm like, well, I could wear this in 20 years and it would look like retro. It would still look current because it's not current now, if that makes sense. The better my drag got, the more quality the items became, the less I wanted to get rid of things. So like when Amy Sarazan started sewing for me a few years ago, the quality was so incredible. I can't imagine getting rid of any of it. So, you know, she's made me at least probably like 100 outfits in the last few years, and I just can't imagine getting rid of any of them. I played Shelley Long's character in Troop Beverly Hills, a stage production of Troop Beverly Hills with Peaches Christ, and I went to my fitting. I was at the Beck's Motor Lodge in San Francisco, and Amy, I'd never met her, came over for the fitting. She put the costume on. It fit like, wow, this person really understands drag. This person understands the arms have to be long. We're cheating a male torso shorter. So what does that look like when you're sewing? You have to sew for the male body, but visualize the silhouette of a female body. You're basically sewing someone's body shape into a new body shape every time. That was like something that I could tell right away she knew. I just was like, these are the nicest costumes I've ever had. I mean, they had buttons, pockets, linings. It was like nicer than real clothes like at a store. I did request a disco ball in this room, and then I broke it, because you can tell I tried to hang that little thing with Velcro tape. It's been like that for years. I'm a star of a renovation show and I don't know how to fix that. So, I don't know. This is where we'll keep a lot of our wigs that are in regular rotation, like some of these pieces that get used a lot, just because if we put them all the way up in these top shelves, they're harder to get to. So right here, we have my wig cart. This is amazing because when I'm working on wigs, I can take the whole cart and move it around with me, and I can just brush and curl and style and pin and clean and do whatever, and then I can just put it back. We go through a lot of rubbing alcohol in this house, just because I like to try to clean my pussy. So we have a bunch of my palettes. We have tights, every kind of color, fishnet, more tights. This is where I put my panties, the things that touch my peenie and my giny. Both of them. Wigs I've never worn. This will probably be in a music video or something, so I've never even worn this. A photo of me. Sometimes I forget who I am. It's like the Notebook. I have to kind of remind myself. Nails. This is where I'll keep my nail files, my nail polish remover, some of my polishes. Items from beauty school. I have hair dryers. I got hairpins. I got hair color items, more hairspray. Shapewear. This is really disgusting, but never forget that underneath all the glamour, I'm f***ing Mrs. Doubtfire. And it's gross, and it is what it is. This is where I keep a lot of my PR. And I went through with a label maker and labeled all these myself. And then there's items that, you know, you don't think about in drag. They're not glamorous, but like we have a whole drawer for glue sticks. We have a whole drawer for makeup bags. There's things that aren't the fun part of drag, but we need a lot of them. I mean, we have a room for just suitcases. Sometimes we'll have 3 suitcases out on one tour. We're currently packing 3, and then there's another one in Milwaukee, and like there's suitcases of drag shifting around at all times. So here's a bunch of lashes. Look, these are all my 301s that I stockpile. We now own 1,000 of these. For years, I was ordering like a dozen pair at a time, but now I have 1,000. So I can never have a career change. Little chair. This is a yellow wicker chair that I had refinished, re-wickered, and lacquered and reupholstered. And it's great when I'm getting ready because Brandon can sit here and work, or whoever can sit here and work. It's just nice to have somewhere to sit that's not the makeup chair in this room. So I just want to show you 2 other closets before we skedaddle, but this is the main room. But of course, I've been doing drag a long time. Not all my drag fits in here, so let's go look. One of the hardest things about storing drag is the more you get, the more something inevitably gets pushed to the back. And so sometimes you do have to just put on some music and go shopping in your own closet, because you'll be like, I forgot I had this. Oh my God, I totally forgot about this. And then you grab it, you put it with something else, and suddenly it's a new outfit. So our biggest thing is, how can we put all this away in a way where we can actually see it? And it helps us quickly figure out what we're gonna use. Or if we're like, whatever happened to that outfit? We go find it based on what color it is, what length it is. We also have a closet for just long outfits. So this is my like hallway closet. I mean, this is gonna be drag that's like long, full length. And I don't wear a lot of full length outfits. So this is actually a lot more storage for things we don't use much. But let's go in here. Now that I've opened this closet, I realize that it is crazy. And everything in here is crazy. A lot of my shoes are in here. That's normal, but like, the number of Spice Girl dolls I have, you guys, I have every Spice Girl doll there's pretty much ever been made. And I have one in the box and one out of the box, which I think is, let's just say I'm not gonna tell Mel B about that because I think that she might stop talking to me. This is my season 7 finale dress. I've never gotten rid of it because I loved it so much. It was honestly, Trevor Raines made this, who's originally from Heatherette. And I grew up loving Heatherette in drag, like, and I still to this day can't believe that person made me a dress. And it was the first time I ever felt like beautiful. And no one else thought I looked good, but I did. I remember putting this on. I remember Pearl walking by and being like, "You are hilarious." And I was like, "Why?" Because I thought I was Sharon Stone. And she was like, "You are so funny." And I was like, "Thank you." And then Kennedy Davenport said, "Girl, I love you. You'll just wear anything." But you know, a lot of these like in the plastic, a lot of these are like Queen of the Universe outfits that maybe haven't been worn yet on television. So when Amy started sewing for me, I would send her photos of dolls or photos of toys or photos of 60s supermodels. And we would sort of Frankenstein elements of looks together. But now Amy knows my style so well. Each season, I would say each year, she and I will have a creative decision about what we're doing that year. I remember for Queen of the Universe, to give away too much, for season 2, we definitely went more elevated. It's like gowns, fancy outfits, nicer jewelry, updos. Because the Trixie style is a little more 60s informal. I like mini dresses and go-go boots, and I like fun outfits. So like once a year, we'll have a conversation about what we want to do. We do kind of go through our eras, but we try to always pick things that don't feel like a complete rework of Trixie. So this is the third closet. This used to be a lot of my men's clothing, and then my drag started to eat my life. So here we have more dresses. I mean, you guys gotta think, years of 200 episodes of 50 episodes of Netflix, Queen of the Universe, Drag Race, the outfits all just pile up. More wigs, told ya, wigs everywhere, wigs on wigs. A lot of extra shoes, boots, go-go boots, tour shoes. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in here, but this is like my third closet. And you can see it's a lot more color-coded. Roy G. Biv, it makes it a lot easier to find things. I have plenty of fond memories like getting ready with my roommates in the only bathroom in the house. You know, my roommate coming in and peeing while I'm in the mirror doing makeup. Like fond memories of that. Do I wish to go back to that? Absolutely not. And I hope this video, I mean, this is very aspirational and cool to have a room for just drag, but the truth is you can do drag with a compact and some headphones. Like you don't need a fancy giant drag room. Unless you're getting drag 5 days a week like me, it's not like you need a lot of space to do drag. It's lovely, but drag queens are like goldfish. If you told me all I had was one closet, I would make it all work. If you told me I had a whole house for drag, I would spread out everywhere. You're never gonna have enough space. You're never gonna have enough money to have a big enough apartment to fit all of your drag. You just have to make it work and hope that somebody loves you enough to like sleep in bed with you next to Wigs. Thank you for joining me on this brief tour. Please don't find out where I live. Don't break into my house. Don't touch my things and don't touch my hair. Back to you, Bob.